of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion. Recording in process.
In
In
progress.
progress.
Did I say in process too by accident? I
Wait,
wonder
wait.
why.
Did she? I think she must have said process, right? Because why else would we say that?
The
The Zoom
the
lady.
Zoom lady. No, I think it's you're
She
right.
must have said it because why else are
She
we thinking
must
that,
say it. Because
Um,
in my head, I automatically went, it must be process. Not that nobody cares, but we
we'll cut
care.
this.
All
We'll
of a
cut
sudden,
this.
we care. This is premium podcasting content.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome everyone to Of the Publishing Persuasion, a literary podcast where we break down all the yeah. Just kidding. Welcome everybody to Of the Publishing Persuasion. I'm Angela Montoya with Melanie Schubert. Um, Melanie, like, how are you? When's the last time I saw you? Like, what's happening in the world? What have you
Oh my
been?
God.
You've been doing some things, or some things have been doing you. Um,
Girl. Yes. Yes. Well, they still live there. So I, yeah, it's a long story I may save for another episode, but yeah, the it's been hectic. It has consumed my life. And in case you don't follow me on social media, my neighbors are like it's getting criminal level. Like, yeah, it was pretty hectic what I witnessed, and I'm not gonna lie, like it did affect my nervous system a lot more than I'm comfortable with because the thing is, because I can hear so much in my apartment, um, you feel privy to the event. You feel part of it, included in ways you don't want to be included. And yeah, it was scary. Like my neighbor was like scream like yeah, look, I don't know what's going on down there, but it sounds violent. It sounds scary. And to be frank, I was under the impression that this was it now when we complained that they'd be gone. But anyway, there's a lot of red tape, apparently. It's not actually as easy as you think, even when there's like obvious criminal activity. But like, unless, anyway, it's a long story. But yes, my nervous system has been shot, and I had to cancel our sweet potty last week or the week before because honestly, just didn't feel like myself. Like, I
yeah.
just, you know what? It's funny because I just want to shout out God Cartier today because sometimes you just need a friend to give you permission to be like in a bad mood and not reframe things. And just to like, I don't know, like if it's just a humanity thing or if it's like a me thing, a former people pleaser thing, but like sometimes reframing and being positive isn't the vibe. It's shit. It's
Mm-hmm.
shit. It's shit. Let me feel shit about it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's like
yes.
I don't think I've fully given myself permission to feel the whole spectrum of human emotions yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Feel
I
it, baby.
yeah, so I was feeling really shit and thank you for reshuffling. Or I don't know if we've reshuffled yet, but thank you for canceling last minute. Because it's just like, I don't know, I like to bring, together energy at the very least, to get energy to the pod. And I felt like I was just gonna stare at you and just space out. And I knew you wouldn't want that either, for me to be like in agony on the other side while we try and laugh about cloacas and because I do, you know me, I do like to look for the silver lining in things. But last week just did me in. And then on top of all this very loud shenanigans that have been going on and not being able to get them out. On a lighter note, I discovered mice were eating my couch.
Shut
Girl,
up. Where is Goose? Goose, why are you not doing your job?
Thank you. Goose has been slacking, and okay. I want to add that I got rejected this week from
No.
that. So it was just like one thing after another. My own fucking heritage rejected me. And like for my
Oh,
the
the short
anthology.
story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It was a nice rejection. But I was like, even my own heritage don't want me.
Oh
Fucking
God.
sent me. And then I saw a mouse. And as you know, we live in this old ass apartment. We cannot quite seem to manage to seal up all the holes. So every now and then the mice decide to visit. I thought we were done with them, they're back. But I found out in a very grand way that they were back because one ran across the living room. That's when I know,
No.
right? They're usually really discreet and you don't even know they're there. One ran across the living room behind the couch, and I was like, fuck. And I said to Phil the last time that happened, I was like, what if they're going into the couch? And he's like, why would they go into the couch? There's nothing in the couch. I was like, yeah, but when we were kids, they used to look for places to make a fucking nest.
Oh no.
Now, I can't confirm if there's a nest or not in my couch. Let me tell you why. Because when I saw this goddamn mouse run into the fucking couch, yes, I lifted the cushions and I dug deeper, and I can see they have been eating the couch.
Oh God.
Eating
Like
it.
the back lining kind of or underneath it, like
Yeah,
that.
like under the cushions looking for the fluff. I
Yeah.
don't know. What I do know is it was one of the most stressful weeks I'd had in memory that had affected my nervous system more than it has been in a while. And I fucking broke down and wept about these mice in the couch.
That's valid though.
You know? See, I needed a week for it to be funny. It wasn't funny last week.
No, no, not at all. Honestly, though, like even on a good week,
Yeah.
that's gonna devastate you. But when you're already like getting hit like left and right,
Left
yeah,
and right.
yeah.
And my period was the heaviest it's been in years. This period was like, it was one for the ages. It was like, I will make you feel the suffering of all womankind. Because with the heaviness of blood comes my fucking mood. My mood's the worst when it's heavy blood. And then, as you know, I've had iron issues. So I started to panic. I'm like, I don't feel like myself. My iron is gushing out of my vagina. And I started to panic, and as you know, went and bought a kilo of chicken livers, which are the highest iron food that on the graph, the only thing higher is pork liver. So
Oh,
high in iron. I've been eating these fetid chicken. They're fine. They're fine. They're just very, very musky or something.
wow.
Not my favorite food. I've been eating a lot of it, but I hadn't had enough chicken livers, and then the mice came, and I just got rejected from the Croatian publisher.
Oh my
So the
God.
mice. Maybe on another week I could have made light of it, but and you're right though, even on any week you're just like, well shit, like suddenly the couch feels gross. That's what
Yeah,
sent
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Suddenly the biggest space where I lounge the most frequently
Right.
might have a goddamn infestation of rodents.
Oh my God.
So I broke down and wept.
Yeah. Yes.
And then we tried to buy a new couch, but we accidentally bought it from an American company, and it took them 2 weeks to cancel the order.
Oh no.
But we still paid for it. They only just refunded us today. So I had to take a few deep breaths and go get a bunch of massages and find a new acupuncturist because I can't wait to drive up to the peninsula every time I need her. And the couch is still there. I have not dealt with that problem because I just was like, you know what? If I actually try to deal with that on top of everything right now, I will have a mentee B.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently a mouse lord and I'm thriving. I am the queen of the mice. If they're
Yeah.
there, they're my children right now. We don't think of them in ill terms. They're not diseased rodents. They're my furry friends. They're my riding compadres.
Yeah. But you haven't seen them since.
Oh, I can hear them places. I don't know where they are. They're
No.
not still here, Angela. They're
Right. Yeah.
not still here.
Goose, Goose, get on it, girl.
Goose is fucking slacking. I think we're gonna have to get a cat because I don't know how
Oh
we
my God.
could
I can't
possibly
imagine.
seal everything up.
Yeah. Would Goose do well with a cat, you think?
She absolutely would not. She's fucking twitching as we say that. But Goose is gonna have to cope. I'm also
Yeah.
allergic, but there's a bunch of hypoallergenic cats, so I think that'll be
Yes.
fine.
Yes. So you'll just be you, Phil, Goose, and a naked cat just hanging around.
Actually, there
Oh,
are furry ones that I think
oh,
Russian blues and maybe Balinese. There's a couple that
okay.
uh, you know, I was
You
fine
know,
with my
Goose might
in-laws
just
cat.
love her. A cat. She
She
might.
might.
She kind of gives off cat energy.
She does give off cat energy. I don't know if she's willing to share, but it might have to happen because I
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll This weekend is the goal to pull it out and see how bad the damage is. Is it a steam and clean and continue on? Or is it a they've eaten through the fabric of our existence and we need to replace the couch?
Right. Yes. Oh
Stay
my
tuned
God.
for this
We're staying
weekend's
tuned.
shenanigans.
We're staying
Anyway, how are
tuned. We're
you?
staying
I'm
tuned.
fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. You're great. It's all good. Why is that in life though? Like when one thing happens, it's just like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It's just like, but it sounds
Yeah.
like though you have done well in managing yourself and like, okay, I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm going to go take a break and like get a massage, do something. I'm gonna get out of the house. I'm gonna see Katya or
Yeah.
so it seems like you're doing your very, very best. So good job. Good
I
job.
am doing my very, very best. And yeah, but it is something I've been reflecting on. Like, there I am trying to put the positive spin on it. But just like, yeah, I think I don't know. And I think you and I have always been similar in this because it's like if you sit in the negative feelings for too long, that whirlpool seems endless.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
know what
you're
I mean?
also allowed to have the moment.
And I think that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to work out at the moment. Like, how much, like to
Hmm.
just let myself have, instead of just canceling what I'm experiencing and just like trying to like put a positive spin or change my mood every time. Sometimes you do have to just sit with some grief because a lot of times these exact moments when all this is happening is when those deep grief things from life that you maybe haven't dealt with or you never will get to deal with, right? There's these
Mm,
things that like we all carry that will come up in those moments and yeah, like giving yourself permission to grieve and to feel sad. I think I'm just trying to work out how much is healthy for me, how much is like still feels like yeah, like it's healing rather than hindering, but then also just sometimes just letting it go and just trusting myself to deal with whatever's happening, even if I'm not holding on so tightly to all my pieces, you know? I think
mm,
because in the past I've experienced such a chronic breakdown in my health, it's like scary to like let go of all the trying to control and make sure everything's running smoothly. But that's not real life, you know, like real life is messy and yeah, so but reaching out for all my self-care, be like I'm zoning in on my new therapist after the last one just ghosted me.
yeah.
So yeah,
Good.
she's trying to be gentle and
She's doing
kind
it.
and just human. I don't know, embracing. I used to hear people talk about shadow work and I never really understood what they meant. But I think it's this. It's just like embracing the messy parts of you, the like
Mm,
uh the wounded parts, the screaming inner child who like makes you feel crazy sometimes. You know what I mean? Like there's
yeah.
moments that are so raw. Anyway, sorry. I'm now ranty about this, but
No, no. It's no, you deserve to rant. I mean, yeah.
we'll
Good
save some of
rant.
it for therapy.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to hear how
yeah.
you are. I've like non-stop ranted to you for about a good solid 15 minutes. How are
No,
you
we
on the
were
other
we were
side of the pond?
fine, good. like I'm working on this book on the immortal undoing, and
Yeah.
it is undoing me.
Hmm.
But I just have to keep telling myself, like what we were just talking about on the pod with Marv, our guest, like it's not the final product. Like it's
Yeah.
just the first draft that my editor hasn't even seen. So like it's
Mm.
allowed to be messy and it's going to change and morph and develop and grow so much. So I have to keep like telling myself that.
Yeah.
Am I listening? No. But like I'm starting to see the light. Like we're getting there. We're getting
Cool.
there. But I just think I just feel like this book is like maybe like bigger than like I was ready for it. So, um, so I'm trying to like rise to the occasion.
I
Um,
see. It always felt like a huge world, even from the
yeah,
initial idea, very much like a mega fantasy.
yes, that's what it is. And I'm trying to keep it under 100,000
Hmm.
words. Um, and that
It's not happening.
no, but I'm getting there. I'm very, very close
Mm.
to there, but I feel like I was talking to another author and she said that she sent in her manuscript at uh 99,999 words. And I was like, that's gonna be me as
Play.
well. Yeah. So
Yeah. But you
it's
never
gonna,
know what feedback they're going to give you anyway, so
yeah.
don't punish yourself too hard at this point.
Yeah. Yes, I'm being gentle, gentle. But no, it definitely feels like it's definitely kicking my ass. But
Hmm.
um because I started like thinking I want to say I started writing it or like the concept of it like truly in January.
Hmm.
And here we are in May.
Yeah.
January? Are we in May? Yeah,
I
January,
think so.
February, March, April, May. Oh, actually I'm doing pretty well then.
I think you're doing great. Oh my God, you're always so hard on yourself. I was like,
Yeah.
you are just about to berate yourself
Yeah.
for like writing a whole ass 100,000 word book in 5 months or something.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm doing okay. And I had a launch for Carnival
And you had a
Fantastical during that.
launch.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would be
Yeah.
like laying out on the grass, just like combing my hair with, an ancient comb while the wind ruffled my leg hairs if I had just had a book launch. And here you are,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just like
Yes.
blasting through with the biggest, maybe the biggest book you've written, right?
Yeah, it feels that way. So yeah, no. Okay. Now that I say it out loud, I'm doing well.
You're doing,
I'm
honestly,
doing
maybe
well.
some of life is just like needing to verbalize to other humans, right? And just
Mm-hmm.
have them be like, dude, you're doing great. You're allowed to feel this. You're allowed, like, I do think we need each other in a way. And like, I know everybody's like, oh, you should be able to be like fine and independent in yourself. But I often disagree with that in its extremes. I do think you should be grounded in yourself, but I do think we need each other. I think
Yeah.
our I think our hard wiring relaxes around other people. Like, you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, I actually
Yes.
been doing this experiment lately because I think I've told you about this, in our house, I've noticed if I do like a deep calming breath, I'll notice Phil will do a breath, even Goose will do a breath. I've started experimenting out in cafes, and I made a guy deep sigh the other day. And I was like, gotcha. I helped you relax on your busy day.
I love that. Whenever I sigh, everybody stops and goes, "What's wrong?" I'm like, am I not allowed to breathe in this household?"
It's true. People do think something's wrong. And even after many years, sometimes Phil will still be like, what's wrong? I'm like, just regulating my breath.
Yeah, then I get mad like, "What, a girl's not allowed to breathe? A girl's not allowed to just sigh in this house?"
I'd kind of love to see you get mad.
Yeah,
What do you,
I don't get like roaring mad, but I get like snappy.
yeah,
Maybe. We'll see.
yeah. No
Yeah, I get like
roaring, like, do you bang things around in the kitchen? Like,
no, I get I'm more like quiet, like I'm more
oh,
like inwardly
quiet or
fuming.
fuming.
Yeah, and that's when everybody gets quiet as well, like what's wrong? What's
Oh,
happening? I'm like, don't talk to me right now.
That's powerful though.
Yes, yeah, I'm a powerful stewer.
Silent rage.
Silent, yes,
Mm.
yes. Yeah, but no, a deep breath, a good sigh is nice to
Yeah,
do.
it is good. Every now and then I have this idea that I should just like make breathing content just to like help
Yes.
everyone regulate. But then I'm
You know
like,
what?
but
You have a good voice for it too.
thank you.
Yeah.
We do have a few people who listen to the podcast to help them sleep.
Because we're that exciting.
Where our banter relaxes their nervous systems, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, which is
Well, keep listening, folks. Coming in hot. Go to sleep.
go to sleep with Angela and Melanie.
On of the
The
publishing
publishing
persuasion.
persuasion. You can't change key. You have to keep the melody if I harmonize. Harmonizing 101.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I panicked.
Yeah,
I didn't know what I was
yeah.
doing.
But
Yeah.
yes, and aside from all the hellish week, I have managed to keep working on my graphic novel script.
Oh, okay. Look at you go. Like how are you feeling with it?
Listen, I'm not on the like deranged high that I was last time we spoke, but that's just because of like all the hecticness.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'm still like having those little moments of quiet.
Yeah.
I just have a little moment where I'm like, oh, I love this so much. So I have man, it's been slow going. And I did so on the 15th, I
What is
technically
today?
have
Okay,
another
so today.
deadline to send my final packet. So yeah, I meant to have that to her tomorrow, and I really wanted to get 30 pages done because 30 was like the no more than 30. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm gonna cook and like have those 30 pages done initially, but now I'm just like 20 would be good. 20 would be good, but I don't know. Today I'll probably try to just zone in. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Well,
still
amazing.
thriving, still feeling like I love this story. I think I just eased
Yay.
into it a bit more and just having fun with it.
I
Trying to
love
just
that.
like inject all the goofiness that and like magic I can think of into it.
Yes. Okay, I'm excited. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and I've been
Yes.
taking this little notebook. Got myself a little cute Spirited
Oh,
Away
that's cute.
notebook. So cute. And honestly, even like if I'm like writing a full length novel again, I kind of want to find a way to incorporate this step into it because the step of writing on paper first,
Yeah.
and then I can do that anywhere, anytime, having like not the screen moment. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
even though it's more convenient in a way, planning on a screen and doing your plotting on a screen, but I really think it's added something to my writing process doing it this way. Do you ever use a
Yes.
notebook?
I do. I like to get like each project its own specific notebook that feels like it
Yeah.
matches the vibe.
Yeah.
And so anytime like revising and I think of something that I need
Mm.
to go back and do, I use a notebook and I write every note instead of actually going back. And that really helps. I love the notebook. I write all the different names so that I can always reference it.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
did I
smart.
ever tell you that I got the Aqua Note? Remember how Petra Lord told us about Aqua Notes?
You did not. Okay, hold
Yes.
on. Hold
Yes.
on. Give me this update. Is it as
Okay.
good as glorious as it seems?
Yes, yes, they work so well. So it's like it's just a notepad with
Yeah.
these special pencils and they work in the shower. Like you could be like drenched and just writing and it's just like writing a regular piece of paper.
But the paper's got to be waterproof, right?
Yeah, the paper is it just runs right off the paper, but it holds the pencil perfectly.
Oh my
Um,
God.
and I use it so often because that's where I get so many like random ideas or like, just certain little things in the shower.
Yeah,
Because you're just sitting there, your brain's like shut off, and that's where it always comes.
that's
And
so
these Aqua
true.
Notes are legit. And so you just tear it off, and I just like fling it out of the shower and let it, dry off. And then I get it later. But however, I accidentally got the love aqua notes. And so
That feels so
so
right for you.
I
Just
know.
writing yourself
Yeah.
love notes.
Little love notes. So I think it might be a smaller pad than normal ones. So because they're meant
Ah,
for like it even says like for love notes, like in leave your partner your love a little I love you in the shower. So it's like mine's a
ah,
smaller pad. Um and it's fun because we'll write little notes.
yeah, yeah.
And so but it legit works. So aqua notes are legit. Like
Oh my
get
God,
you
I'm
some
gonna have
aqua
to
notes.
look it up.
And they're not expensive, honestly. I got mine on freaking Amazon for like, I don't know, maybe $10 or
What?
maybe
Okay,
probably even less, to be honest.
I think I'm gonna have to invest because yeah, it beats the naked dash out of the
Yes,
shower.
it does.
Okay,
It
because like
does.
last time I had a good idea in the shower and I was like, if I don't write this down right now,
Mhm.
I'm gonna forget it. There's no way you
Yes.
remember if you fully let yourself relax. And I like to fully relax in the shower. So I sprinted all bare bottomed, sprinted across the house. Then you get to the laptop, but now your hands are dripping.
Yes. We
Or
don't
if you
need that.
try to write it in the notebook, now you're dripping on the paper. So
Get your
I
aqua
think
note.
I'm gonna need to get some.
You do. You really, really do. Because you could just be in there scribbling away and naked as can be, not dripping anywhere but the shower. Yeah, it
Honestly,
works.
the shower time will be, I don't think I'll have notes in the shower. I think I'll suddenly have a very long shower plus writing session.
Yes.
Are your showers super long now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like a shower. I do enjoy a
Yeah.
shower. I'm not gonna lie. So, especially like because we run on a well, so
Do
we
you?
just get our own, water.
Oh
So,
my God, Lens. She's got
yeah.
her own well supply.
Yeah.
What? If the
So I'm just
apocalypse
gonna
comes,
shower
I'm
it up,
coming to your
baby.
house.
Yeah. We're living it up over here. Yes.
Do you drink the well water as well?
We run it through like what I do is I run it through our regular like fridge filter and
Oh
then I
yeah.
run it through what are those other like the like
Brita?
yes, thank you. Thank you. I also use a Brita as well because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
hard water we have.
Ah,
So it's like very rich in minerals.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like great water, but it's very, very like calcium rich. So we try to run it through
Yeah.
the systems. Like our toilets, like they're clean, but they have like a
They
ring that I
build
just
up.
can't get.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
cannot like get rid of it to save my life. So like I'm not sure. Because I had I'm just gonna tell you, I had kidney stones like a couple years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's like maybe I blame it on the well water. I don't know. Maybe I
Oh
just need
my
to.
God, it could be.
So I don't know if that's even a thing. But
It
but
sounds
when
logical though, if it
thank you.
like calcifies and if
Yes,
your
because
body,
when our
yeah.
Armando was cleaning out our pool filters, he knows the terms. I don't know, but one
Hmm.
of the filters, it's a cool term. I don't remember what it is, but it calcified. And he had to go in there with acid and clean it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway,
Is and now you have the wait, hold on. Were the kidney stones pre-Brita filter? And now there's
yeah,
Brita filters? Okay. So you
yeah, they
were
were.
drinking the hard water, it fucked you up, and you're like, no, no.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Uh,
So now everybody knows. Yeah. Unless if you're a scientist or a doctor listening and you're like, bitch, that's not true. It's okay. You let me know. Let me know
dis
if I'm tripping.
Listener disclaimer. All evidence and facts on this podcast are anecdotal and mostly used to try make you laugh. Please
Yeah.
do not use any of our advice to diagnose or try pass any of your papers in school or university.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that disclaimer because yes, yes. What do
Mm.
we freaking know?
But your
You know?
hair shines gloriously and you use hard
Yeah.
water. Maybe the
Well,
calcification works for you.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe certain aspects are
Yeah.
great, I don't know. I don't know. This
Well,
is also just a little bit of grease because I haven't washed my hair in a few days, so that makes a little
it's
shine.
working.
Thank
It's work.
you.
If I hadn't washed mine in a few days, it would be, it wouldn't be shining like that. It would just be like lank tendrils, like a sea monster. So you're doing well.
Drooping down.
Time
Thank
for a
you.
shower with your aqua notes. So shout
Mhm.
out Petra Lord for that because
Yeah,
I saw your eyes that episode. I was like, you're gonna go straight up and look for these aqua notes.
I sure did, and they worked. They really worked. I saw Petra at Y'all West, and I totally forgot to mention that,
Yeah.
um, but from afar, I was like, "Thanks, Petra. Thank you so much." Yeah.
Just threw her little casual blessing.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Do you
I
feel like
did. I threw
you've
a blessing.
recovered from because I feel like since we chat you still had a couple of events where you flew out. Do you feel like
Yeah.
you've recovered from that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I'm so like happy to not be,
Mm.
although I do have plans next week, but I'm not like traveling. No, it was a whirlwind for sure.
Yeah.
Because I was in, was that one Texas? Well, I know I went to BookCon, so
Oh
I
my
went to New
God.
York,
I know
and
you
then I
went
went
to
to
New
LA
York and
the
LA
next weekend. Yeah. And
and then
so
Texas.
I think I did Texas too before then. Um, Did I? I don't remember. I think, but BookCon was great. It was
Yeah.
so overwhelming. It was so much people. I got to
Mm.
see Ness and Kate. Like I got to see a bunch of friends and like listeners of the show, which was really, really cool. But it was so like there's so much happening that like it felt like I couldn't
Yeah.
really talk to anybody because it was like got to do this, this, and that. Saw Jill. Shout out Jill too.
Chill.
Um, that was fun. New York was just amazing. Like it was so
Mm.
cool to just walk. Like I got there in the morning and I just walked the city by myself and like had the
That's
best
so
time.
cool.
Like it was perfect weather. People were like they're planting tulips everywhere. It was
Oh
gorgeous. It was
my
such a vibe.
God.
Yeah, but I feel very, very much recovered and like,
Mm.
back in the writing mind, but you know, gonna go see BTS next week.
I saw that. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
So
I feel really
exciting.
bad. I'm not gonna lie
Why?
because my and I just like I it was a panic, okay? So I knew like I had been checking their tickets and they'd been sold out. Sold out.
Yeah.
Like blanked out. And then it popped up on my like an app like, "Hey, like we're releasing some tickets. Like check it out." And I just did it on a whim. I was like, "Yeah, right. There's no possible way." And I checked, and because they're going to be here 3 days, and I checked on the last day, there was like a few tickets. And so I just swooped in and I bought two tickets. I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to buy them. And I'm just going to buy whatever I can get. Right.
Yeah.
So I bought the two that were available. But then so Alicia, my daughter, her roommate is like BTS obsessed. Like she's like hardcore. And I'm gonna take Alicia, but I feel so bad because I was like, oh, I wish I would have just like somehow found a third ticket and
Yeah.
like been able to bring Sophie, her roommate, because she's she's been watching all of their
Oh
like
my God.
shows on this website. And so that's my one thing I feel really bad about that like I'm taking
Yeah.
Alicia who's like loves BTS but isn't a super fan.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But anyway, so
You
that's
know
my one
what?
part I feel bad about.
They're young. There'll be
Yeah,
more
it's true.
shows.
Okay, you gotta go. Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
okay. Enjoy your show. Enjoy your
Thank you.
show.
Yes,
You
so we're gonna
know?
go see the babes. We're gonna see our seven
Yeah.
guys on Tuesday, so that'll be fun.
Oh my God. Slay.
Yeah.
BTS got me through some dark times in COVID lockdowns.
Yeah. Well,
I'll
you
never
introduced me to
forget.
them.
Did I?
Yes.
I'll take that crown.
Yes. It was, I think, Dynamite, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
during
deep in
COVID. Was that
COVID
like COVID?
days.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. Like honestly, I feel like in a roundabout way, I was forced to develop some really good self-care. Lately, I just think about dancing and like how crucial, how critical it is, and how yeah, like even now, I feel like it's demonized in its own way, not in necessarily for us, like a religious way or whatever, like it may have been in the past. But like in a, oh, it's dorky. Oh, like if you
Yeah.
can't dance well, you shouldn't dance, right? There's this
Mm.
whole stigma around dancing, but like, God, when you actually just let go and move your body and release it, there is something so critically healing. And dancing to BTS definitely kept my mental health manageable through the
Yeah.
lockdowns that were. Now, before I go on another tangent, I see we've got 3 minutes
Yes.
somehow.
Yes.
You want me to go?
Sure. I got lost.
So, Marve has been writing for over a decade, and her trade debut fantasy novel, Firstborn of the Sun, the first in a trilogy, was published by Penguin Michael Joseph in October 2025. The novel also earned finalist placements in several competitions, including 2023 Future Worlds Prize. Her debut sequel, Heir of the Shadow, will be released fall 2026. She is also the outreach and inclusion coordinator for the British Fantasy Society. Marve is an award-winning filmmaker. I wanted to ask her about that. When she is not weaving fantastical tales, she can be found embracing life as a serial hobbyist, obsessing over myths, histories, collecting books, and carefully curating her personal library, or indulging in her unapologetic love of all things Christmas.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Love
and
Marv. Magical.
magical, marvelous.
Hmm.
It's such a rad name. I wonder
Yeah.
if it's like, I should have asked, is it marvelous or is it marvellous?
Oh.
Ma
Oh, you put
in
a
my
spin on it.
in my
I
mind, I was
like
like,
that.
Marvellous Michael
Oh.
Anson.
I
That's a
don't know,
fucking
but
like legendary name.
yeah.
Marvelous things in store for the Marvellous. And just such
Oh,
a beautiful energy human. Like, honestly, thank you for being patient with me while I got my shit together. As always, I feel like more of a human after seeing you and doing the pod.
same. Yes. Every
It
time, every freaking time. Yes.
really
Yes,
is
we
an
are human
anchor
again.
in this
Yes.
tumultuous world.
5 years.
Happy 5 years!
Happy 5 years of
Oh
doing
my
this shit.
God. Can you believe that?
No, I
Like I
really
can and I
can't.
can't.
Yeah, same. Same.
Huh?
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Oh my gosh, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It took me a minute to find the link. I'm like, God, I saw this yesterday. I bookmarked it.
Yeah. Yep. Every time I have to do anything, I automatically can't find it or don't know what I did with it.
I'm like, I know I saw it. I know. How are you though? It's good to see you both.
Good
So
to
good to
see
see you.
you. What time is it where you're at?
Oh, it's 9 p.m. I
Okay.
literally set an alarm for like 8:30 and then I took a nap at 6. And when the alarm went off, I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah. I was up and then I also fell back asleep and then I was like, wait, I have 15 minutes to
Oh
make
gosh.
my
What time is it where you are?
6 in the morning.
AM?
Yeah. So we're like right on the other side of the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Well, I'm glad you guys could both make it to my perfect time. Um Yeah, so thank you so much. Honestly, I'm so excited to have you on. Like I've been following your career, following you for the last
Mm.
few years and getting to watch you and your amazing book soar. So congratulations on everything.
Thank
We've
you.
already hit record, so we're just gonna get right into it and start being nosy, because that's our favorite thing to do. Yeah, so
No, I'm so happy to be here.
yeah, no, thank you, honestly. Your covers, oh my gosh. Oh, and do you get to reveal the cover for book two soon?
I do. It literally was supposed to be last Monday, but my team moved it a couple of weeks because they have plans, and I'm like, fine, it's a good plan. I'll wait. So now it's on the 1st of June. So I think
Okay,
just a couple of weeks, I think, to see
Oh
good. Oh my
my
gosh.
God.
I can't
Perfect timing.
wait. Yeah.
it.
Yes, I know it's going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
Okay, getting into our very first question, which is, what is the strangest thing that you own?
Mm.
Oh, I did think about this, and I don't know that it's strange, but it's my little thing. When I go to a new country, I like to go to the beach if they have one, and have pick up seashells from there. So I have this collection of seashells from different countries.
Oh,
Now, I'm not sure if it's very strange, but it's just by my doorway when you come in, the first thing you see is a little jar
oh, I
from
love
different
that.
countries. I know it makes me feel like a bit of a connoisseur, but yeah, that's I think that's the strangest.
No, that's so special. You're my people. I would collect all the shells. I was like toying with this one because I collected one from one spot where we lived, and I'm like, if I collect a whole jar from every place we live, we're gonna have problems, you know?
So I limit myself to like three.
Mm.
So I just got back from Montenegro and I found two perfect and they have to be perfect. That's the rule as well. So like anyone that's broken, I drop it and it's like a little hunt for myself. I don't know why I do this.
I love
I
it.
love that. Yeah, I like that you set rules for yourself. You've
Yeah,
got to put
yeah.
boundaries in place.
You need it, or you end up with a jar from St. Kilda that you don't need. You know? One from every country is cool. Do you have a favorite one that like just like glitters out to you every time you walk past?
That's a great question. I have two that I like, and I think it's just because they're important to me. So I have one from Lagos, Nigeria, which is
Mhm.
probably just because I'm from Nigeria, so I quite like that. And it's big fat one. And I have one from Dubai, which is odd, but that's where I got engaged, and I think I picked it on that trip. So, but yeah, I
Oh
just
my
put them
gosh.
all in a
Those are
little.
pretty good. Those are okay. How many countries have you been to? Do you have a count?
Um, I don't know,
Just being
actually.
nosy at this point.
How, maybe
Um,
the question is how full is the jar? Or how
Oh,
big is the
yeah,
jar?
maybe a dozen countries with beaches.
Mm,
uh-huh.
Um, but I need a bigger jar.
yeah.
Just out
Yes.
here jet setting. Love that.
Well, now I absolutely must know what is something you think about way too often?
That's a great question. I think since moving to London, I think about way too often the nurses from the Nightingale Hospital during the World War. Now, this sounds random, but one of my favorite book series is based around this. And one of the first novels my grandma gave me to read when I was small was about Florence Nightingale. And it became my Roman Empire. It's just like, oh, that lady's so cool. And then finding out that the hospital was like formed around her work. I'm just yeah. I'm a sucker for nurses and the concept of like Florence Nightingale and everything that's come from that. And um I used to want to be a nurse and that's why it's in my mind all the time. But then I realized they do way too much work. So I just read
Yeah.
novels about nurses.
That's valid, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bless nurses
Shout
It's
out.
way too much work. I can't
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah. That is really, really cool though. Like
Mm.
you're living in history, like where you're at. Like, are
Yeah.
you a big history nerd
I
as
am
well?
really true. Not probably why I have chosen this one random fact, but it's so between that and like the Roman Empire, and when we had that trend of men thinking about Roman Empire so much, I was like, I need to think about something else. No, I'm thinking like men.
Never, never. Yes.
Oh my God, I
I
love
love
that.
that.
I'm really okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just probe a little further. Like, is there something about that really also like the shells, I like to know more detail. Is there something that really stands out to you about that moment in history, like when you
I,
reflect on it?
yeah, I think for me it's the work and the sacrifices of women in times of war and times when they don't look like they're taking the front seat, but like the economy, everything surviving because of this woman. Um, we also have the RAF here, and it's about pilots and the fancy flying bomber jets and all of these things, but there's someone on ground making all of these work. There's women putting together the parts, the women quite literally as part of the force, but they're very much unseen. And I get just so obsessed into the lives of those women.
Yeah.
And the Nightingale series, the book I talked about that I really love, is because her characters are very much those women. So we get to see them be friends, grow up, be nurses, fall in love. Um, and yeah, I get really obsessed with the contribution of women to things where men take the credit.
Mm,
Yes. Mm. I just got
yes.
chills.
Yeah.
100. Yes. That is. Yes. I okay, there's this I just keep showing it popping up on my Netflix here in the States, and it's called The Men Who Built America. And every time I see it, I die a little bit inside because I'm like, yeah,
Mm,
sure. We see out in the forefront, but all the things that are happening behind the scenes, all the
yep.
women that are doing the work and holding like so much.
Mm.
I love that this is where your mind is at.
It
Yeah.
really is. It's like that movie about putting, a man on space with the woman who did the math. I'm trying to remember the name.
hmm
With I'm blanking now.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but I
Um,
know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Or the Kerry Washington one that came out recently about the women in this squad that were sorting letters during the war. Again, I can't remember, but it's, again, great movies. But both of those are things that I would absolutely eat up because I'm just like, someone is keeping these men alive, and and I want to know
Yeah.
about their lives because they're the ones that are interesting to me. They're not the camera facing crew. They're behind the scenes, and yeah,
Mm. Yes,
Yep.
I
no,
love
I don't
this
get to talk
very
about my
much.
obsessions very often, so
We love it.
That's our bread and butter. That's what I love to hear. What like moves people, what we're thinking about, what we're passionate about, and also why is the patriarchy such credit whores? Why are they hogging all the credit for everything? How many statues do they need? But also lately, I'm just convinced that it is the people, just like the people whose names we'll never hear. They're the
yeah.
ones who are like really doing the real work on the ground to like better humanity because they don't have time to like elevate themselves. They're just hustling. You know what I mean?
I think that's perfect. They actually don't have the time to
Mm,
sit and think, you know, how am I going to look in front of the camera today? Or what's the angle on this thing? It's pretty much wake up. If you're a woman, you have two jobs. You're saving the economy, but you're saving your home as well.
mm.
You're not just waking up and walking out the door because someone else will take care of it. And those kids have to be good and they have to be alive. And it's a hard job. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I love your brain. I love where you're at. Like, yes, I love your obsessions. All so, so good. Which I think to be an author, to be a writer, you have to be a little bit obsessed about the work, about certain subjects, about all the things. Your brain just has to work a little in the line of obsession in some way or another. Did you know that you always wanted to be a writer? Like, was it always something that was a part of you, or did it come later? Like, tell us a little bit about your origin story.
I think I started writing much long before or longer before I thought I could be a writer in that I could produce consistent work that people would read, or then even be an author where it's like a job. So that was not in my mind at all. I just knew that I did like to write things. I had started writing um in my journals those very emotional poems when you're like 13 and I'm like, a boy likes me, but tomorrow he's stupid. So those were like loads and loads of my poems when I was like a teenager. And then I started writing short stories. Um, and I really liked exploring that because it's really short, and I can have someone read it, watch them read it, and say, "What do you think about it?" And I did that for a while. And somewhere around maybe 15, I had the idea for a book, and I started telling everyone, I'm writing a novel. And by the time I turned 20, I still was saying I'm writing the same novel. And my mom challenged me, and she's like, you have to actually write the novel if you're going to keep saying that you're writing a novel. She's like, and at that point, I don't think I considered it to be a job even when I had a full novel. It was
Mhm.
very much still a hobby. It's just something that I happen to know how to do. So again, growing up with my grandma, she would give me novels, but most importantly, she would tell me stories. So living with her meant, every night you're getting a new story. Or I'm continuing yesterday's story because I didn't like where it ended, and now she had to listen to me make it up. Or I'd read something and I was summarizing it to her. And I was saying to my husband recently that I was narrating a movie I had watched to him, and halfway through I was just like, it felt like my life flashed before my eyes. I was like, wait. I think I've been doing this my whole life. I think I've been
Mm.
yapping about things I've read or watched and forced someone to listen to me describe it back to them. And I could just see myself doing that to my mom or my grandma and, making them listen to this story I've either made up or they haven't had time to watch some, blessing them by telling them exactly what happened. And so I finally managed to put all of that into a novel, which was like my first thriller. And when I was 21, I finished it and got to a point where I self-published it, and I was really happy with that. I'm proud of it because it was the first kind of, long form. It was like 80,000 words. So I had gone from writing short stories that were at the most 5,000 words to 80,000 words. And that was like in the space of a full year of dedicating my time to writing a novel. And so that was like the thing that shut me up because as soon as you do that, people are like, you're an author, and I'm like, oh, I guess so. I don't know that I had fully understood what being on the other side of writing a full novel and publishing it would be at the time. And some parts of me, even now, I still think, because I'm not a full-time writer, am I really an author or am I
Mm.
like a hobbyist? Like at the back of my mind, I keep thinking that, even though obviously it's a valid job. I remember telling my mom earlier this year, or maybe at the end of last year, I was like, you know what? If I get like a huge deal, I'm probably just going to write full time. And she said, why would you retire at 30?
Mm.
Like, that's not retire, that's a full job.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job. So for me, it has been kind of just evolving in the ways that I tell stories, in the way that I obsess over things and then transfer it into like written form that other people can read and enjoy.
Yes,
Mm.
you were born a born storyteller. It seems like it's in the bloodline.
One yapper.
Yeah, born yapper.
Yeah, I found out that my grandpa used to write stage plays.
Wow.
Direct them. And because no one was really interested, my mom's not a reader or a writer. And she's like, she's glad I have that so she doesn't have to think, she doesn't have to bear the responsibility of that. But so I don't have anything he's written because my grandma's moved from her house as well. And they didn't keep it for some reason. But it's just really interesting to know that, there's something there in that there's someone in my kind of family line that was thinking the same way I think and probably obsessing about different things, but obsessing all the same.
Oh, that's
Yes.
so special. So
Yes.
special to just have those, yeah, to know that somebody in your bloodline was just like, and I love hearing like this version of things where you're just always a storyteller. It was just always like bursting forth, blessing everyone with the full rendition of the movies.
I guess they will.
Against their will. You're gonna make them listen. Yes. Oh, I love that.
Glorious.
Now I wanted to ask, okay, so you self-published your thriller, and then how did we get from self-pubbing to where you are at now? Like what was the journey like for there?
Um, so I took a break from writing after
Mm.
I had self-published that. So I moved to London. I was doing my master's degree. I got a job in tech. So all of that takes all of your time. So it took a very long time for me to find a stride and rhythm to writing after work, to kind of planning my time properly. And for about 5 years, I went back to writing poetry and short stories. And I started this series called Poetry for 1,000 Days, where the goal was to write poetry in 1,000 days, which would be about 3 years. And I got to about 200 and I was just so exhausted. Just like, I have been writing every day for 200 days. I need a break. So now my plan is just to write 1,000 throughout the course of my life, as opposed to, back to back. But that helped me to still be creative, even though I wasn't kind of producing full novels. So by the time I had the idea for Firstborn, um, I just thought I want to have this magical world. I want it to have elemental powers. I want it to be based around my culture and a Yoruba royal court. and see how those politics will play with magic and what I can do with that. So I really liked that idea, and it was one that I thought I can make this into a novel. I hadn't even realized it would be a series at the time, but I just thought there's definitely something there. So I think I needed to also wait to get the right idea.
Hmm.
As soon as I had that, I thought I don't want to go through the self-publishing again because it is a lot of work, and you have to pour so much of yourself into the creative side and then take off that hat completely and just throw it away and become a publisher, a one-man publishing house, and doing all of these things. So it was fun because now I know what to ask from my publisher that I know is possible. It's like giving me a bit of behind the scenes, I know where books are uploaded to. I know what it means to deal with Amazon. All of those things that someone who's not self-published might not quite understand. I'm able to say, oh no, actually, I've done that before. I think you can do that if they try to say no or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I just knew that I couldn't have like the kind of job I have and also continue self-publishing. So I by the time I had the full novel, I decided to pay for an editorial edit, which isn't required. I also sent it to beta readers. I remember you read some of it, Angela, at the time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Um, and so I got loads of feedback that I spent maybe 4 or 5 months working. And by the time I was done with it, my manuscript was literally like 185,000 words. It's crazy when I think about it now. And I cut that down to 150,000 words. And I thought, surely this is good enough. And I sent it to the first like five agents, and two of them were like auto rejects. And I did this really bold thing of sliding into these agents' DM. I'm like, I just noticed that you've rejected me. I want to confirm, is this because of the red word count? And she's like, yes. I'm like, okay, got you. Can I come back? And she was like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
sure. And so now that I had feedback and I knew that it was the word count, so I cut it down to the most I could, which was 138,000 words. And I thought, this is not 140, so they'll see 1 3 and they'll think three is not far from two, and so it might as well be 120. And she was just negotiating with myself. And so I sent that out, and that did much better. And I got an agent with that. I got like one offer, and it was from someone who I absolutely wanted to work with. So I didn't feel like I had to wait for more. Um, and we worked on that over the summer and submitted it um to publishers. And I remember when she was signing me, she's like, 138 is really long. We need to work on it. Um, and by the time we were submitting, it was 150.
Oh.
And my editor bought it, and we sent it to her, I think on a Thursday, and she read it like overnight.
Mm.
And I think by Monday, because my agent was in the US at the time, so my editor, she wakes up like afternoon to evening, so about 3 or 4 p.m. She's like, "Oh, can I call you?" I'm like, "Wait, is this it? Is this the day we've been talking about since like 2 days ago?" Um, and I was like, yeah, and she told me about the offer, and I was sitting right here where I am now, and I just literally hung up. First of like, I'll call you back, and then I went screaming up the stairs to my husband. I didn't even get the details, and then I came back to call her. I'm like, okay, now tell me what's in it. And when I spoke with my editor, then she said, it is long at 150, so we will need to cut it, and we published at 160.
Oh
So
my God.
it literally never came down. So I feel like I did a great job taking it down to 138 at the beginning. But so I got that book deal for 3 books and to have a series out of it. Because when I started writing it, I realized, by the time I reached 120,000 words, I had not completed what I thought was Act One in the idea of the story arc that I had. And so it meant that I definitely had to have more books really, and have an arc for that. So I had to write a synopsis for book 2 and 3, send it in, and I've been under contract since then and constantly on deadline. It's killing me, and my next deadline is in 2 weeks now.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
What a
How is,
journey.
yeah, right? Like, how has writing book two been? Are
Hard.
you writing work? two right now, right?
Yes, I
Okay. It's
am.
been hard.
I'm in the second round of edits. It was really hard because I just need time. And, my recommendation to everyone who gets that 2 years between signing a book deal and publishing is to write that second book before book one comes out. That's like the best gift you can give yourself, um, because it just means that there's not so much noise at that time. Many
Mm,
people won't even know you have a book deal before you debut. So you can just sit in a room. You're not really reading reviews or anything, and you're kind of pouring out your heart into it. Some of the hardest things for me to write in book two are things that people praised me for in book one, because then I started to feel like an imposter, thinking, what if that was like, I don't know, remember it was 2 years ago, I don't remember how I wrote that. And you're saying that was the best part of the book, so like if I don't get it, there's no good parts. And so it made me panic, and then I had a deadline. I didn't start writing it until um, I didn't start writing until last year, July,
Mhm.
which granted was late since my deadline was October. But halfway through this, I had to switch agents. So my agent left her role, and I found myself without an agent in the year before, I debuted, and I thought I don't want to go into the next year. And that was around August, September. Uh, so I thought Ukraine would be, an easy journey, but when I started reaching out to agents, because I was under contract for 3 books, and assuming that the commission for that goes to the agency that signed it, then they're not really able to earn from me. And so I had agencies and agents, say, we can't even consider you. It's not about the work. We can't consider you because it's against our rules. We can't hire someone who we can't earn from in the
mm,
short term. And so it was very much a matter of fact business thing, not even what you've written or anything like that. And I thought, oh, this means I have to write something out of contract. I have to write a new book. Um, and I met an agent in person. We had a really lovely meeting, and I loved speaking with her. And she gave me this really nice, but say basically the same thing. I need to be able to earn something from you in case the other agency is unwilling to share commission. And they had told me they were unwilling to share commission at the time. So I remember sitting at the airport, and I started writing my next book. Like that was not in the Firstborn series. And over the next 3 weeks, I had the first 3 chapters, like a query package. And I sent it in. I'm like, I am a fast writer, which is debatable, but I'm like, I'm a very fast writer. See, I've written like 3 polished chapters. Would you take me? And he was still like, maybe no, because then they have to still take on Firstborn. So like anything that happens with my publisher, they still have to take that on.
Wow.
And I think it was just everyone was aware that I had a full-time job, and they were like, "Can you do that and write 2 novels a year? That's really hard." I'm like, "It's hard, but I can do it." I did do it, but I will not do it again. So I spent all of that year, so that's September of the year before to April of last year, writing this YA dystopian, which I'm going on submission with this year. So fingers crossed for that. So that meant a huge chunk of my writing time was taken away from the series, because the book that I did then get my new agents with, I had to finish that. So
Wow.
it took away from my book two time, but book two also was just very nerve-wracking. I kept comparing myself to the polished version of book one, which I had open, and I'm thinking it's just it needs to feel the same, but it's not quite feeling the same, which is an unfair comparison, of course, because it's a first draft. But at the end of it, I think my agent was like, I think I prefer book two. I'm like, I'm glad you said that. Even if you're saying it to make me feel better, I will take it. So that's where we are now. Second edit for book two, and it's supposed to come out October, but I missed my last deadline, so it's coming out November now.
Mm.
And I got an email today saying we can't move it anymore.
Wow. It sounds like you have been working your ass off. Like, honestly,
Uh,
somebody give the girl a holiday. Sounds like you've deserved it. But that's also so real, the like first draft to final draft panic of like comparison. Like
Yeah.
every time I start writing, and I'm like, is shit. Like, why did I think I can do this? And I'm always comparing it to like the final polished drafts, which
Yeah.
I don't know why we do it to ourselves, but every time.
Every time. And yeah, it's abuse. We're abusing ourselves because I am at that point right now. Like I'm writing my first draft or whatever draft this is, and I'm like, this is trash. It'll be so bad, but it's not the final version. Like it is far from it. So we have to be kind to ourselves. But it's so hard. It's so hard to be nice to ourselves and like give ourselves some credit for all the hard work. My God, you you have been working your ass off, but I really actually appreciate that you made like this business decision. Like, no, I need an agent. I have to do this work so I can get there. Um, I think it's so much work, but it was very strategic, and I think you knew what you needed and you went for it and you got it. Um, and that's really commendable, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like this is so because I wrote this the dystopia 2 years ago now. I feel like this is the first time I'm on trend, and I wrote it as a desperate I need an agent thing, and people are like
Yeah.
dystopia is back. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Am I finally in the know?
Yes, you're on. You're on track. You're in. You're in it. Yes. When you said it was dystopian, I was like, yes,
Oh
I am
gosh.
here for it.
Yeah. And I remember then as well what I had said turned in just the 3 chapters, and my agent was like, um. So do you have the full manuscript? I'm like, babes, I'm writing this as as I go. You have the latest version as of yesterday night. Yeah, I think I realized that my 2025, 2026 were going to be very busy years. And I'm hoping that then I can kind of go back to a book a year and be a sane person again. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, because as soon as I do have my edits back for that book, which I had started working on, so I'm just switching it kind of when I get edits back for Hot, which is Heir of the Shadow, book two. Um, I then pause on that and come back to this. But by the end of the summer, I should have all of my books done, or everything edited,
Mm.
and not do anything for like a month, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yes, you're not going to know what to do with yourself, and I love this for you. You need this time. Okay, I see like we're already down to like our like last little chunk, but I want to get into Firstborn of the Sun, which is your not your debut, but it which is the book that I got to read and is so amazing. The cover's to die for. Can you tell our listeners what it's about?
Yes, so it is. Like I said, I consider it to be like a reimagining of what the Yoruba Empire would have been if it continued to expand without the influence of colonization, but the infusion of magic. And my comes for it really would be if you enjoyed Game of Thrones, which is like a political War of Roses retelling with dragons, or Children of Blood and Bone, and the it follows our main character who you see on the cover. Oh, and I have it here actually because this is the paperback,
Oh my God.
and I just
So
got it in the
beautiful.
mail. Um,
Gorgeous.
and I didn't know it was coming, and the postman just dropped the box and walked out. I was like, "What is this?" And he just kept going.
How dare
Um,
he? How dare he?
Um, so our main character, Laura, she lives in this world where everyone has the ability to harness the power of the sun. Everyone except her. So she has to hide that secret with a different kind of magic, which is likely to get her killed if people know that she has access to that. And she lives a bit as an outcast in this world until she has to go save her best friend from a call the gods have called him to that she thinks is going to kill him. But as Menard did not listen and thinks he knows everything. And so she is forced to go plan a heist and save him from himself and the gods. And she gets into a bit of trouble. And so book one takes us on a bit of an escape adventure with this boy that she likes in this world that is set with the backdrop of who's coming after her, why is she a threat, and how's the royal family reacting to her presence and her power and who she is in reference to the holy order and the kind of governing power that they have within the system.
Wow. Oh my God. It sounds freaking amazing. Is there something that like you hope will stay with readers after they read it?
Yeah, I feel like Laura's journey is one of identity and figuring out who you are outside of what people say you are.
Mm,
At the start of the book, we see her be an outcast, and so she's carrying this kind of name and shame from her father's kind of past crimes and sins in the community. When she does, because it says in the synopsis, so it's not a spoiler, but when she figures out that she has this different kind of magic and power, she's obviously given a name to refer to her as someone with this kind of power. When she gets to learn about her mom and who she is, she has a different kind of name. In relation to the boy that she likes, who is a prince, she's seen as something else. So there's at every point there's kind of different people trying to define who she should be, either to them or to
Mhm.
her community. And she hasn't really had the space to figure out who she is alone, like on her own and in herself. And she does a bit of soul searching in book two. And so for the series, I think it is really one of identity and figuring out who you are so that when you go into the world, no one else gets to define you.
mm.
Mm,
Yep.
my
Love
God,
it.
I
Here
felt
for it.
that.
Yeah. Felt it in my soul. Felt it hard. Okay, last question, which is looking back at all that you've accomplished, what would you tell a younger version of yourself before you started this journey?
Um, Writing is a job and you can earn money from this.
Mm,
Um, but I think I would say to just keep doing the same things because when I started writing those journals, and even though they were like about boys and liking them, it was also a way for me to talk about my feelings in a way that felt separate from me. So in my mind, if I created this character and gave them the emotions and the feelings that I had, I could protect myself from them because it's not me, it's someone else. But I could be very vulnerable in transferring those, and it helped in just processing that. So writing has always been a way for me to kind of process my own thoughts, which I think, can be quite visible because I have readers say, "Oh, did you mean to add this really strong theme on this?" I'm like, "Not really, but I see why you see that."
Hmm.
And so I think to just keep writing because it can be hard. There are many times in the past 2, 3 years where I've been thinking, oh my God, if I can scrape up the advance that I got and give it back to them, I'm sure I could get away with it.
Takes it back. Yeah.
But yeah, to just keep writing.
good
Love it.
advice.
Yeah.
Great
No, it's true.
advice.
Yeah. It's such a good outlet just for our souls,
Yes.
just to put it out there. And I love the idea. It's like it is you, but it's separate. So
Yeah.
you feel more comfortable like getting to explore all the trauma.
Yeah.
I love that so much. That's powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, what's in our last 2 minutes? What's next for you?
Um, What's next? So book two, the
Yeah.
paperback of book one comes out June 4th. Book two comes out November 26th. You're hearing this fast because like the email getting 2 hours ago. So
That's good.
um and then hopefully more news about the dystopia as that kind of goes out and hopefully everybody wants it.
Yes, yes. I know I do. I know Melanie does. I know our listeners do. So we will definitely keep our eyes and ears open for good news to come and be crossing our fingers for
Ah,
you.
thank you. I need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we all do. We all do.
These
Well, thank
trying,
you. Yeah, right. We need
these
a little
trying
help.
times.
But thank you so much, honestly, for joining us. You
Mm.
are so amazing, and I can't wait for everybody to read all of the things that you've written. So thanks again for joining us today.
No, thank you so much. I'm so happy to have been here, and I watched this all of them. And I can't, when I watch the next one, I'll be like, oh, that's me.
Yes.
So I am
You're the
very happy to
star of
have
the
been
show, baby.
here.
Yeah. No, it's been so glorious. Honestly, you just have the best energy. My soul feels like just cleansed after talking to you. So, yes, thank
Yes.
you. of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion.